Once upon a time in a small town, there was a philosophy professor known for his unique and engaging teaching methods. One day he decided to make a special visit to the local primary school, hoping to share an important lesson with the young students there. On the day of his visit, the professor entered a classroom carrying a large, empty glass jar. His eyes twinkled with a playful mystery that instantly captured the attention of the students. They knew that today was going to be different from any other school day. The professor placed the jar on the table, and from beneath the table, pulled out a pile of big stones, each about the size of a fist. One by one, he carefully placed these stones into the jar until no more could fit. Then, he turned to the class and asked, "Is this jar full?" The students, seeing that no more stones could be added, nodded and said, "Yes." To their surprise, the professor then pulled out a bag of pebbles. He started pouring them into the jar, shaking it slightly. The smaller pebbles rolled into the open spaces between the larger stones. He asked again, "Is this jar full now?" Some students, starting to catch on, hesitated, but many still replied, "Yes, now it's full." The professor then produced a bag of sand and began pouring it into the jar. The tiny grains filled all the remaining spaces between the stones and pebbles. "Is the jar full now?" he asked for the third time. This time, the students responded with a mix of curiosity and understanding. "Probably not." Lastly, the professor pulled out a jug of water and poured it into the jar, saturating the sand. Only then did he agree that the jar was indeed full. He looked at his students and explained, "I want you to realize that this jar signifies your life. The stones are the important things, your family, your health, and your friends. Things that, if everything else was lost and only they remained, your life would still be full. The pebbles are the other things that matter, your job, your house, your car. The sand represents the small stuff, the trivial things." He continued, "If you put the sand or the pebbles into the jar first, there's no room for the stones. The same goes for life. If you spend all your time and energy on the small stuff and the mundane tasks, you'll never have room for the things that truly matter most. The stones are those things critical to your true essence and happiness. They represent spending quality time with your loved ones, caring for your health, and pursuing your dreams and passions. If you don't prioritize these things, you may find at the end that you've left out the most important parts of your life." He concluded powerfully, "Make sure you put the stones in first. They are your foundation, your main pillars. They are your family, your health, your dreams. Don't let the pebbles or the sand, the secondary tasks, the routine, the trivialities, take precedence over them. At the end of your journey, it is the stones that will weigh the most in your jar of life, defining its value and meaning. Let your life be driven by the things that enrich your spirit, that fulfill your soul, and that matter the most. The rest is just pebbles and sand." As the professor concluded his speech, a thoughtful student raised her hand and asked, "But Professor, what about the water? Where does that fit into our lives?" The professor smiled at her insightful question and responded, "Ah, the water. The water signifies that no matter how full your life may seem, there's always room for a cup of coffee or tea with a friend. No matter how busy you are, there's always space for small moments of joy, relaxation, and connection with others." In our lives, we often find ourselves juggling between priorities, trying to fit everything into the limited hours of the day. We get so caught up in the small tasks that we sometimes forget what truly matters. This jar, our life, it's not infinite. It has only so much space. If we choose to fill it first with sand and pebbles, the mundane and the peripheral, we leave no room for the stones, the things of real value and meaning. In the end, the professor said with a warm smile, "Remember, it's not about having a big, busy life filled to the brim, but about leading a fulfilling life rich with experiences that truly matter to you. It's about not just counting the days, but making the days count. It's about balancing the stones, the pebbles, the sand and the water in a way that enriches your life and brings you true joy. The students left the classroom that day with a newfound understanding of how to prioritize their lives, knowing that it's the stones, their family, health, dreams, and passions that truly matter most.